The Minnesota Timberwolves lease on the Denver Nuggets is up because the Nuggets are now the one doing the owning. Nuggets win 2-0 versus the Wolves. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Nuggets, your daily Denver Nuggets podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for joining us and making this part of your day, being with us, being an everydayer, and making us your first listen. We appreciate you guys joining us, whether you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, give us those 5-star reviews, or if you're checking us out, youtube.com/Locked On Nuggets. Oh my gosh. So I thought I waited so long to do this show. I had stuff I had to do on a Saturday night. I was tied up with some family stuff. And so I had to come back and I was watching the game, but I had to get caught up on it and do the deep dive. Took me longer than I expected because of some family stuff. And I'm recording this here at 2:40 in the morning Eastern, 12:40 on Mountain Time. Folks still are hopping in the chat because that's how big this win was for the Denver Nuggets. We'll talk about it on tonight's show. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more with FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. All right, here we go. Nuggets get the win. I don't know what the final score of this game is because the stat system freaked out on us, but let's say it's 123-112 via NBA.com. Nikola Jokic finishes with 27 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 6 turnovers, +3, 37 minutes. Jokic went the extra distance tonight, down a couple of starters. He was questionable coming in with a wrist injury, and I was like, surely, after going 2-1, this was an opportunity to get him 5 days rest. They're down 2 starters. The Wolves lost the first one. This is such an obvious spot. He won't play. Yeah, he played, and he dominated, and he did what he does. 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Joker's three-pointer is back, and that just makes it very difficult to cover this man. Including, I do want to note, one of my favorite sequences in this game was they ran and Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon pick and roll, stagger screen, I believe, off of Tim Hardaway Jr. And Jamal got downhill, and because of the sequence, you had Nikola Jokic open in the corner with a screener screening his man. And Jokic was able to bury a corner spot up 3. You just don't get to see that very often. For me, the story of this game, though, there's a more of a team effort. It was a more of a team performance. I mean, but look, Joker had 27, 12, and 11. And so I got to start with Joker. This isn't possible without Joker, even though they got contributions from everybody. In particular, I thought Aaron Gordon set the tone in this game. Aaron Gordon scores 23 points tonight, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 4 stocks for AG, 1 turnover, and a +33. The defensive performance that he was able to give on Julius Randle in the second half, the defensive performance that he was giving as a secondary weapon, the way that he played with aggression and knocked down his shots as he shot 8 of 15 from the field, same as Joke, was absolutely phenomenal. I thought AG set the tone tonight, but those are the individual performances, and everybody's kind of identified it. Vic Lombardi had a tweet about this. I'm sure DNVR talked about it. This is reality, is that, I don't think the Wolves were dirty tonight, as somebody in the comments mentions. I think that the Wolves played how they do, which is they're super physical, and they got desperate. They played desperate in this game. They played desperate to win this game because they knew that you go down 2-0 to the Nuggets at home, and the odds that you win that season series are very low. I'm not saying the Nuggets won tiebreaker tonight, but it's a good way to think about this. All right, it's Sunday, November 16th, and I don't expect the Minnesota Timberwolves to finish tied with the Denver Nuggets when we get to April. But let's say they do. Let's say the Wolves make a trade or go on a run or whatever, and they're as good as the Nuggets are. The Nuggets can't lose head-to-head tiebreaker now. Already. They have already clinched at least a split of tiebreaker. That's a huge thing to do versus your division rival who has given you so many problems. But Minnesota played desperate in this game, and Denver went right back at them. And they went back at them in a way that wasn't... Sometimes they would lose the ball, but I didn't find it sloppy. There's risk involved if you're going to attack like that. But the aggression level, They were not caught off guard by Minnesota. They were not pushed around by Minnesota. That word soft, I think, is complicated in the NBA. But I will say that the Wolves have felt for the last 2 seasons like they could be the aggressor and Denver would back up. Denver did not back up tonight. Denver went right back at them. And that started, honestly, from the very beginning of the game with Jamal Murray. Murray did not shoot the ball well tonight. Jamal was 9 of 22 from the field, 23 points on 22 shots. But Jamal had 6 rebounds, 12 assists. 12. He had a phenomenal passing night. He was making great reads consistently all over the court. And from the very beginning, Jamal was getting downhill and attacking. And somebody on Twitter was kind of commenting that, like, well, yeah, Nikhil Alexander-Walker is gone. Sure. But the Wolves also have good defenders that have bothered Jamal. And I thought he was getting separation. And I thought he was attacking way downhill. It was absolutely phenomenal. If we're talking about other heroes of this game, how about Tim Hardaway Jr.? 23 points, 23 from AG, 27 from Yoke, 23 from Jamal, and 23 from Tim Hardaway Jr. Stepping up with Christian Brown out 6 weeks, Cam Johnson out as well tonight. 23 points, 6 of 8, 5 of 6 from 3 from THJ and a plus 18. I think Nuggets fans are going to be very happy for the duration that Christian is out with how they're going to play, as long as, like, it depends on the timing of when THJ cools off, because he will. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr. is a career streaky shooter. He's a good shooter overall, but he's going to have a stretch of games. And believe me, I will be there to remind you that when it's January or February and it's like, man, THJ cannot shoot, get him out of the rotation. I'm going to be like, you remember when he won you all those games in November? You stick with the guy because you're going to get good games, you're going to get bad games, but you stick with him over the aggregate, over the long haul, and it's going to work out well for you. But he was really great tonight. Tim's defense has been really good this season. Just has been. And he's done such a great job. It really has been phenomenal. But the Nuggets' ability to come into this game and really attack and get downhill. Jamal was even attacking Rudy Gobert, and he got him on one and then, like, got blocked a couple of times because that's going to happen with Rudy Gobert. But Jamal was attacking. Like, he wasn't, like, over hesitant trying to make the right play. It was just playing basketball and getting downhill, attacking when he had a lane, passing when he had an opportunity, made some great reads. And, you know, Jamal winds up in this game a +6. He was a -1 before they did the stat correction. But he was a big part of that fourth quarter run without Jokic that was able to kind of get them some separation. Then Jokic came in and they slammed the door shut. They have been, you know, everyone's kind of talking about how good THA has been as a signing, and it has been. And it does kind of, like, this does absolutely reek of Justin Holiday, where it's like, Justin is like Justin's not as good as THJ. But, like, this is why we on this show and everyone around the Nuggets were like, why don't you go get some of these type of guys? Like, these are the guys that you need. They will look so good here because they just know what they're doing. And it was just really phenomenal. Nuggets, I thought, defensively in this game, honestly, was the most impressive part. That without Cam Johnson and without Christian Brown, and I looked into some of the numbers and was kind of like, you know, the defense actually hasn't been bad without Christian this season. So I was like, you know, that's just something to kind of look at and consider. There's it's possible to take that and be like, hey, the Nuggets might stay afloat here defensively without Christian Brown, who's their best perimeter defender, and not have it be like, are the Nuggets better than without Christian Brown? Which is going to be a lot of takeaways. They are better now because Tim Hardaway Jr. is shooting 5 of 6 from 3. Yes, if your starting 2 guard shoots 5 of 6 from 3, you will be in a good position. Okay. Overall is the question, I think, more on the aggregate here. But look at some of these numbers. With Aaron Gordon on the court tonight, they held the Minnesota Timberwolves to a 94.5 offensive rating. That is terrific. With THJ on the floor, 109.8. That's great. Peyton Watson was a dog tonight. He was making so many extra plays, and I love seeing it from him. And that combo really was great. Like, AG and Peyton really stepped up tonight defensively without Cam Johnson, without Christian Brown. They played, I thought, phenomenal defense. Bruce Brown with a 106 defensive rating. Like, they were able to get it done. And they really, I thought, stepped up in a big way here. This is a phenomenal win. Up next, I'm going to tell you, we'll talk about the bench, about their struggles, about what that means with the Nuggets being shorthanded. We'll talk a little bit more about this great win the Nuggets got over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Coming up on Locked On Nuggets. You know, when I'm hydrated, everything just works better. My focus, my energy, my mood, even my skin. That's why I've been using DripDrop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps me running at full power no matter what my day looks like. DripDrop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top college and pro teams. So people have commented a lot on my choice of beverages on this show, which are, if you don't know, are often Red Bulls. But I've kind of come to the understanding that I need to drink more water. So honestly, I've been drinking DripDrop for the last 3 years. And today I'm training for a 5K on Thanksgiving. And what I take with me on the run, I took DripDrop. The watermelon is unbelievably good. It is the best tasting electrolyte drink I have ever had. I've tried all of them. The watermelon, I cannot speak highly enough about. It is so freaking good. And after, there is genuinely like this feeling I get of cooling the body. Like I feel cooler internally in a way that maybe I won't have so many crash outs on Twitter, which is absolutely terrific. It is so good. And you really can tell a difference with this. I am very genuinely endorsing this product. I've been using DripDrop. It's awesome. Hydration has become non-negotiable for me, and DripDrop helps me feel sharper, calmer, and honestly, just better overall. It really does. Right now, DripDrop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to DripDrop.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's DripDrop.com, promo code LOCKEDONNBA for 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits hard and keep your body and mind performing at their best with DripDrop. We're also brought to you today by Wayfair. The holiday season's right around the corner, and that means it's time to get your home ready. Whether you need more seating for guests, cozy new linens, or fun serveware for holiday hosting, Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to help you make your space shine. And the best part, you don't have to wait. Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off everything from sofas to spatulas. You can get lots of great cooking ware. It's great to have for when you're serving, if you're hosting for the holidays, if you want to bring something for the holidays, order from Wayfair and bring something over. If you, let's say you're going to see the in-laws, yeah, the in-laws will appreciate it when you show up with something nice from Wayfair. Don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to Wayfair.com right now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale for up to 70% off. That's WAYFAR.com. Sale ends December 7th. We're also brought to you today by DoorDash. The NBA season's heating up, and DoorDash has found the perfect way to keep fans in their bag all season long. Whether you're watching for the highlights of your fantasy team or just your favorite player, DoorDash makes every game night even better. DoorDash is the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA, and they're celebrating with something called the Bag Drop. Every time an NBA player scores 50 in a game, DoorDash drops 50% off your order with Dash Pass the next day, and you're automatically entered for a chance to win the ultimate fan bag. Got in on it the other night with Joker. The following day, got myself a sandwich. I can't say the name of the restaurant, but it's one of my favorite sub places. Got an Italian with the hot peppers. Ooh. Chef's kiss. We're talking player-inspired drip, exclusive gear, and stuff you actually want in that ultimate fan bag. It's not just food. You can get everything from snacks and drinks to headphones, ice, and even socks all delivered. So the next time someone goes off for 50, use promo code NBA50 the next day to get 50% off on DoorDash with Dash Pass, plus your shot at the Bag Drop. Dash Pass members only, 50% off up to $10 the day after a 50-point game with promo code. Terms apply. No purchase necessary. Ends April 13th. Open to U.S. residents 21 or older. Visit DoorDashinYourBag.com for full details. DoorDash in your bag all season long. We'll be right back on Locked On Nuggets. Back here on Locked On Nuggets. Thanks for joining us and making this part of your day. Appreciate you guys being with us. So, a couple more things about why this win is big. I do think it kind of speaks to the fact of The Wolves had some sort of tactical advantage the last couple of seasons. That was pretty evident. But they also had a mental advantage. I don't know how much the Nuggets thought about it, but I think they were aware of it when they were on the floor. And this team is just ready to go right back at them. I think it's about the veterans. I think it's about Bruce Brown. I think it's about Tim Hardaway Jr. I think it's about Peyton Watson, honestly, getting a bigger role. Because Peyton's always been, I thought, underutilized in these matchups. So seeing him get the start tonight, I think was really great. And they were able to really get that. This wasn't, what's funny is with this game, there's a lot of complaints about Joker, I think, early on with how he wasn't necessarily dominating. I don't think it's a good idea for Joker to force the issue versus the Wolves with Rudy. He's got enough respect for Rudy in the post. And he knows that even if he wins a couple of the matchups, if he doesn't, things get real downhill. Like, think about that. If you're Joker and you're evaluating, hey, this is probably the best defender in the league on me. And if I take him in the post, I might score on him. But my probability is way down. My 2-point percentage is going to be way down on these attempts. I can win, but it's going to be a slugfest. Is that doing the right thing? Or are we better off trying to get other mechanisms going? One thing that was really evident to me is like Dante DiVincenzo in the starting unit is a bad matchup for the Wolves in this matchup. Like, it was rough. DDV got worked all over the place. He got caught on screens. He got flat-footed. He wasn't able to get the kind of separation that he needed. He wasn't able to find the kind of opportunities. Nuggets did a really good job in this game, I thought, of just containing everything. Think about this. The Wolves take 34 threes in this one, only get 10 makes, 29.4. A lot of the questions are about what happens when the Nuggets shooting luck kind of regresses. But I will tell you, like, they closed out great tonight. Like, they made the closeouts that you need to make in this game. Julius Randle, 1 of 5. Anthony Edwards was 0 of 8. He'll make more in the next game. But Dante DiVincenzo, 1 of 6. And DDV is a good shooter. But I thought they had really great KYP, knowing your personnel on DDV and being very aware. The zone the Nuggets used in that first half, I thought really got the Wolves out of sync. And it was great seeing the 2-3 zone with Joker in the middle. I think that's a much more effective use of him. Doesn't leave him exposed on the perimeter as much as some of their other zone configurations have made. And I just thought they were so active. Like, they were so active in zone. That's what I love to see with this Nuggets team is when they're active, I think it goes way better. I've been critical. Like, I'm going to be critical of Jokic's defense because it stands out on film whenever I watch. And because, like, it is, I think, covered up a lot by Nuggets fans. And so if I'm trying to be the most, like, accurate assessment, I'm trying to emphasize when it's rough. I think he was great tonight. Randall got him once on an inverted pick and roll. Other than that, like, his hands were so active. He was so disruptive in this game. I don't have the deflections count, but I'm going to bet it's going to be high when those numbers come out tomorrow. Like, I thought he was absolutely terrific. I got right here. He's had 3 deflections tonight. Led the Nuggets again in deflections, and that's end the game. Or no, it had 4. But led the Nuggets in deflections. I thought Joker's active hands in this game was a big part of their defensive success. This was like a really well-rounded win for Denver. Like, the finals on this are 120.6 offensive rating, 111 defensive rating. So it's pretty much in line with where the final score was. Pace was a little faster. But having a 111 defensive performance on the road against a team you already beat who are without their star and now he comes back, that's a really big deal. So they played, I just thought, really great. I loved how they attacked this team. I loved how they got downhill. It was absolutely phenomenal. This was just like a really good performance from the Nuggets, in part because, like, not everything went great. This wasn't a night when, like, every shot fell. Like, they didn't shoot the lights out here. They shot 47% from the field. They did shoot 48% from 3. That's really good for them, right? Hit 14 threes to 10 from Minnesota. That's really huge. Like, you shoot lower volume and more makes. It's pretty good. But, yeah, that's Tim Hardaway Jr. and that's Nikola Jokic. That's 8 of 12 from 3-point range from those two. And those guys can do that. Aaron Gordon, 4 of 6. He's a shooter, guys. Like, they're going to have to adjust because he's a shooter. They, I thought, were really phenomenal in this performance because the Wolves really did kind of wall off the paint. The other thing here I think is notable is, like, Minnesota guarded them like last year. Like, that's how Minnesota guarded them. Is like, we're going to pack the paint. It didn't work because they've got too many guys that can make J's now. However, let's talk about the bench. So, Spencer Jones goes 2 points, 2 steals, minus 11. But Spencer was part of the run in the fourth quarter that really helped them kind of break this game open and made some absolutely phenomenal plays. He was diving for loose balls. He was making extra defensive rotations. He had some great recovery to the corner closeouts for big closeouts. Like there was one open for DDV that he made a closeout on. And like Spencer did what his job is. Like he went out there and played hard defensively and made a difference. Julian's in a rough place. And like it's very evident. It's very tough. The Locked On the group chat is filled with comments about Julian. Julian is in a really bad position now because he is fundamentally unsound, which Swipa does not enjoy, and he is missing shots, which Ryan can't stand. So it's like bad. Like Julian's been bad this year. He just has been. It's been a bad start to the season. He's in a bad cycle here where he's not good enough to earn minutes. So he never gets to get comfortable because he's not playing enough. But he's not going to be able to earn minutes unless he plays better. Like it's a bad cycle. And I'm not saying that like, well, they need to play him more. No, I do not. That's not where Julian is in this. Like the Nuggets have big aspirations. No, if you're going to play badly, you're not going to play. That's why David Allen has preached like you're going to have to stay ready. He's talked about like it's going to be rough on guys because there's not enough room in this rotation for everybody. There's just not. Like Joker playing 37 minutes has got nothing to do with Julian Strother playing 6. That Joker plays fewer minutes and Julian doesn't play more. Right? Bruce played 30. That's where your minutes went. Your minutes went to Bruce. Tim Hardaway Jr. played less than 30 minutes. Peyton Watson played 34, though. Like Peyton, and honestly, a lot of this is kind of like where Peyton was last year to start the season. Peyton's obviously a better defender, no question, but we can all agree Julian's a better offensive player, like just in terms of ball handling and shot creation. Not as athletic, but I think he's a better offensive player. But Peyton was really lost at the start of last year. He suffered an injury and then was out in training camp and never really recovered until late in the season. Same kind of deal, I think, with Julian. Like, this is an important year, and he has not been prepared for it, and it's going to get rough. And look, I was talking to a scout tonight who was saying they've heard that Denver has been sniffing around the market for another point guard the way that everybody wants. And I think it's like very literally to take those minutes from Julian. Not specifically, like they'd love Julian to work out, but that's who they're looking at. Was a pretty short rotation here, right? Spencer plays 17 minutes. Jonas only plays 11, but his fourth quarter stint was so good. He winds up a +4 in this game. 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists for JV. That stint in the fourth quarter really was great. And played a little bit of too big ball with Jokic and Jonas. Didn't love it versus this team. Just didn't think it worked out very well. Didn't think it was like the right combo in this matchup. I get it because it's like Nas and Rudy and like if you're going to use it against anybody, but I actually kind of think this one's one where they want to counter program a little more. Yeah, someone says on Strother it's his defense. It's how have you regressed? It looks like Bones Highland on the court. Yeah, like because and it's like how have you regressed? It's because he's not getting enough reps to have any sort of comfort level to get sharp. Again, I don't think he deserves more. You got to be good when you come in, and he's not. And I don't know if he's ever going to get better, and that I think is difficult. I don't think the too big lineup worked well. In part because the Wolves kind of employed that strategy of like, hey, we're going to just jam everything on the inside. Right? So the Nuggets couldn't space the Wolves the last 2 seasons. They didn't have the ability to space them out. Now they do. So it's like you have better tactics to be able to get in there. Yeah. So to review on this, Nuggets go up 2-0 in the season series with the Wolves with 2 games remaining at home. They win either one of those and they win the season series and clinch tiebreaker. But the Nuggets have bigger things on their minds. I'm posting a graphic tomorrow. I do this every week on Twitter, on social media. I do it on Instagram. It'll be on my Substack that does the 3 big categories for track and title contenders. Are you on a pace to win 40 games before 20 losses? Do you have an SRS above 3.0, which is what the Nuggets were at in 2023, which is the lowest we've ever seen for a champ? And are you a top 3 seed? The Nuggets check all 3 categories. There are 4 teams in the NBA currently that satisfy those requirements. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, the Houston Rockets, the top 3 teams in the West, and the Detroit Pistons in the East. They're the only team in the East that qualifies as a title contender using this kind of metric. You cannot be anything but thrilled with the start for Denver. Banking wins early, winning on the road, winning shorthanded, taking care of business at home, leading by 12 in every game, as Wipe has been tracking. This was a terrific start to the season for the Denver Nuggets. There will be worse times ahead. That's what happens. Like, they will go through adversity, but this was not a process flawed game from them where they just found a way to sneak it out. This was, they adapted, played tougher, more physical, and faster back at the Wolves and really hurt them. Like, what's been interesting is the Nuggets had talked about wanting to run at home where they have the advantage and slow it down on the road. And in several instances, they've done the opposite where they've attacked downhill. I think versus the Clippers, they did this. And in this game, getting out and running and pushing pace this is a very Jokic sheer will type of win. We will run harder than you. We will play harder than you. And that's such a refreshing change from last season. It's good times to be a Nuggets fan. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys being with us. We'll be back on Sunday night for No Jinx on Sunday around 10:30. Have yourselves a great Sunday. Enjoy the football game if you're going to do so. And we'll see you guys again next time here on Locked On Nuggets. What a win. What a win, man. This team.